Hello everyone, my name is Lācis. I'm a printmaker, and in this video I will show you how I made the Starship engraving. I started engraving the two copper plates more than 6 or so months ago, March 2021, after the Starship SN10 test flight. Engraving is one of the slowest printmaking techniques, as the image has to be engraved gradually, slowly, line by line, chip by chip, burr by burr. So that's partially why it took so long to finish the print. Also, the technique doesn't allow any corrections, so if an accident happens, engraver slips and the line stays. All these mishaps would be clearly visible in the final print. Every weekend I would do a proof print to see how the print has developed and whether there's anything that needs to be added. 6 months later, I'm ready to print the engraving, but before I can do that, I have to place paper to soak. This is very important as it makes the paper fibers looser, paper softer, and easier to print. While the paper's soaking, I'm mixing ink and printing the first color layer, which is going to be brown. It's a relief print, which means that the ink is applied on top of the plate with the use of a roller, and the highest areas of the plate will be printed. The engraved lines will remain inkless, hence looking white in the print. Now I'm setting the inked relief engraved plate and placing a thin sheet of Japanese Kitakata paper on top of it. My pinky is shaking a little as I have to place the paper straight, properly on the plate the first time. If I don't, I have to re-ink and reprint the plate, so better do it right the first time. During the printing process I had this funny realization. The Kitakata paper is cream colored, and I had an idea at first to make the rocket exhaust white by applying some white pastel, acrylic ink, or some other white media on top of the print. But then it sort of clicked, and I thought that by cutting a hole in the paper, it would expose the white intaglio paper underneath. You'll see what I mean by it a little bit later in the video. And now onto printing the second color layer, copperplate engraving. It's an intaglio print, meaning that this time the lowest parts of the plate will be printed, complete opposite as we did moments before with the first layer. By using a dabber, the ink is thoroughly rubbed inside the engraved lines. Afterwards, the surface of the plate is cleaned so that the ink remains only in the engraved lines. To remove any remaining plate on, a bit of chalk is used and the plate is wiped by hand. This process is called hand wiping. As you can see, the surface is almost mirror-like. If we would take and print the plate now, this is how it would look. But what I'm going to do is print this plate together with the previous print in a process called Chine-Colle, so it's finally time for the paper to go out of the bath. This might seem counterintuitive at first, but I'm placing both plate and the print under the water. As the ink in both are oil-based, they won't run away, smudge, or dissolve. Now I'm gently lifting the plate and the paper out of the water. As you can see, the paper is almost tissue-like. It's very transparent, very thin, and that allows me to kind of slide the paper and align it to the plate underneath. Now that the layers match, I'm taking nori paste, which is a Japanese rice starch glue, and gently spreading it evenly all over the print. Nori paste will serve as a bonding medium between the two papers. As you can see, there's thin, even layer of it. Now on to the printing press it goes, and on top of the plate I'm placing the thicker white intaglio paper, the one that was soaking previously throughout the process. I'm very carefully placing it because as soon as the both papers touch, they already glued together. So I also have to do it right properly the first time. As the plate is rolled through the press, the paper is pushed inside the engraved lines and the ink is transferred onto the paper. Both papers, both prints have now merged together. Here you can see the hole previously cut into the Kitakata paper, making the exhaust look white. And so, by the use of two different papers and two inks, we have created an effect of 4 colors. Just one more thing before we can wrap up this video. Because the paper is moist, while drying it would curl up if left on the table like that. So what I have to do is stretch it onto a stronger, stiffer surface. Hence, as the print dries and paper shrinks, it stays perfectly flat. After 6 months of engraving and 2 hours of printing a single piece, here is the final result. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to learn more about the print, please see the video description. Thank you.